In this video, I want to talk about arguably the most important chord you can learn on guitar, the C major chord. So the C major chord in the open position, it's not the easiest chord, especially for beginners, but it is the most important in my opinion. What we're going to do is we're going to do muted E string, then we're going to do the 3rd fret A string, 2nd fret D string, the open G string, the 1st fret B string, and the open E string. So I'll use my 3rd, 2nd, and 1st finger for that, which is my ring finger, middle finger, index finger. So when I give advice to beginners about the C major chord, they're having a lot of trouble with it, I'll actually tell them to leave the top E string open. Now, all chord grids are going to say mute that E string, but the chord is made up of the notes C, E, and G. So E is in the chord, it's just now you're making it the bass note instead of the C. So it's not going to sound horrible, it's not going to sound bad, it's just going to sound a little different. But then as they get more comfortable making the chord, then you start to work on muting it with either your thumb or moving that ring finger up a little bit so you get that mute when you're strumming. So when making the chord, I'll tell people to start with a 3-2-1 method. 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger. I see a lot of people try to start with a 1-2-3 method. And the thing is, you're kind of racing against time because you're usually going to go with a downstroke to start. But also, you're starting with your dominant finger, your index finger, which is a pretty strong finger, to a little bit of a weaker finger to, I would argue, your weakest finger of the 4. So you're asking this one to do the most amount of work while also trying to race against time. Where if you reverse it, do your weak finger first, pinch it down, you take your next strongest finger, and then your strongest finger. So it's easiest to manipulate this one. So that makes it a little easier to get them in place, and you don't have to get the chord instantaneous. Like, you can start the strum before you even get to that last finger. Now, of course, you want to get it as fast as you can, and it needs to be fast, but it doesn't have to be snap instantaneous at first. And it will get there eventually. Like I was saying before, the C major chord is made up of the notes C, E, and G. You can find the chord in the keys of C, G, and F major, or the relative minors of A minor, E minor, D minor. So, made up of the notes C, E, G, I would sit down at a piano and I would hit C, E, G. Because we have 5, 6 strings that we're using, we would use a combination of them. So the average open position C major chord, so we would mute the E string, then we would hit the notes C, E, G, C again, E again. The amount of songs that you find C major chord in are just endless. That's why I say it's the most important chord. You know, you have Like a Rolling Stone, Hand in My Pocket, Let It Be, House of the Rising Sun, Brown Eyed Girl, and just a million more. And of course, there are multiple ways to play C major on guitar, so I'm going to show you a few here. So I really hope that you learned something today and that you have a good time playing the C major chord. If you really enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe if you want to learn more guitar. Just go out there, have fun, play songs, and happy practicing.